when we're not painting or doing a painting, it's good to keep painting and keep our hand in, keep in touch with the medium, its timing, and the all important ratio of pigment to water on the brush. So here's a little exercise that can help us with some of those things. Nothing at stake other than to have fun with the brush and the pigment. What we're going to do here is do an orange, a pear, and an apple, and then this one here I'm going to do an apple without drawing it first. So first things first, here in a pencil I'll just draw very, we don't need an orange in front of us in order to draw an orange, that's for sure. It's just a guide. And the same with a pear. Pear is slightly bulbous at the base, and then it goes up there like that. Interesting shape. And there we go. That's our pear. Might put a stalk in it. Then we'll do an apple down here. And as I say, we don't need an apple in front of us in order to be able to draw an apple. We know what an apple looks like. And let's assume that the light is always coming from this direction. So we'll think about putting a highlight on our objects. Okay, so without further ado, let's get painting. This is all about really feeling free enough with your paint mixing on the paper. And it's important to say that this is 300 gram Saunders Waterford rough, and I'm going to use this very nice Skoda number 12 brush, and then for some of the other bits I'll use these number 10 Skoda synthetic sable brushes. All lovely brushes. Okay, so a bit of water, and for the orange I'm going to start off with some cadmium orange, and as you can see here we need a fair bit of it to get the right consistency. So a little bit more of that. Okay, let's do that, and it's really important here to be as free as possible. And I'm going to pick up some more, put a little more pigment now, and then I'm going to pick up some cadmium orange red, slightly stronger colour, but I'm going to mix this on the paper. Here we are, brush, and then I'm going to go to some burnt sienna and let that go around here. There is possibly an orange, hey, and you can see I left a little flick of white there. Now if the light is coming from this direction, we're going to have a shadow here, a little bit there. And then what I'm going to do on the paper is just mix in some blue and I'll choose some ultramarine blue here. It needs to be thickish paint, so in case I've picked up too much water I shall keep some tissue in my left hand. There's our ultramarine blue, and I'll just go in here right into the orange there, and because it's slightly thicker pigment than the orange that's down there, it immediately holds its own. There's a little bit of bleed there, but I think it's going to be okay. If I want it a little bit darker, I can go in here. This is the bit at the top, and there's our orange. You know, without worrying about copying something that's right in front of me, it just gets us back in touch with the pigment and how you can let it mix on the page. Okay, so I'll leave that to I'll leave the paint to do its own magic there, and I'm going to go on to this pear now. So we'll start with a pear that's a bit of yellow, cadmium yellow here, and a bit of green. Yeah, just pick up a little bit of that there. Maybe a little bit of that could be better. That's looking better. So that was cobalt turquoise. And in we go. And you'll notice that it's important to get some flow, and there's got to be enough there's got to be enough pigment and water to start to flow down the page. Then what I want to do is mix in some more of this, a little bit more cobalt turquoise because I like that. And let's get in here. And we might want to just do a little bit darker on one side, so without mixing too much here, I'll let it mix here. And I'll let the paint do the rest. Here's the shadow. It's got to sit on something. And then what I'll do here is pick up some fairly thick ultramarine blue and go in there like that. And maybe up the top I'll pick up some burnt sienna and ultramarine blue and pop a stalk in. There we are. So that is our pear. And it's nice to feel free with the pigment and the brush and just leave edges like this, which are much nicer than sharp edges. Nice bit of lost scumbled edge. Okay, now I'm going to do this apple, and for this I want some more yellow here. So nice pigment there, and I'll leave a little highlight. And let's see if I can get some more pigment here, there, and then I'm going to pick up some red here. Alizarin crimson, and in we go. And mix it in there, and here, and well, who knows, that might be enough. Some nice things going on here, so let's get in this shadow. There's our shadow. And now I'll just use this other number 10 brush. I'll squeeze out some of that water when I washed it out. Pick up some of this ultramarine blue, fairly thick. I'll go in here straight into the wet paint, and you can see that it mixes nicely on the paper. Here is a stalk, and then we'll light coming this way. Yeah, okay, so we'll do a bit of a, yeah, that should do it. Maybe a little bit darker here. Okay, so there's our apple. And I did say I would do one without a drawing here. So let's have a go at that. Okay, we start with some yellow paint and a little bit of blue, just to turn it a bit more green. There's a bit of cerulean blue there. Cerulean blue. I think I want this a bit thicker, so I'm going to put out some more paint. Some more yellow, cadmium yellow, and there we go. So I've mixed it with some cerulean blue to get a nice green, but I want a reasonably creamy mixture, which I've got. And so there we go. And red. A bit more red around here. I like the way it's flowing down. And we'll put a shadow here. Just moving to the other brush, the number 10. Let's see, I'll mix some more of this and a bit of blue. So we've got a nice strong base to our apple. And then I'm going to come back and do that. One of the things you can do, well, I hope this works, is wash out your brush, squeeze it out, and if you want, you can lift a little bit out if you want. That. Or you could blend a bit in if you think your highlight is too strong. It just blends the edge. Now, time to put in our shadow. So thick ultramarine blue, and in here you can see how that resists the flow of water coming down the way, flow of pigment and water, and just holds its own and gives you that nice shadow underneath. Let's see if I can get the core part here. Okay, so this time I'll do the stalk up that way. And there's our apple. So that's the exercise. Of course, you can let these dry and then you could work on them more if you wanted to do something more finished. But the point I'm making here is that you can have a lot of fun and keep yourself in touch with pigment to water ratio on your brush, mix colours on the page as we did with the darks there, and experiment with timing of when you put some colours down and see how they mix through. Some nice things happening here, nice things there. Essentially you're looking for things that you couldn't paint by yourself. You need watercolour, water, timing, and you need the magic of watercolour to help you through and create something a bit special.